Hey guys, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Black Lightning Season 3 review series. And today I am going to be talking about Episode 14, The Book of War, Chapter 1, Homecoming. And this episode pretty much picks up where we left off at the end of Episode 13, where we saw Jefferson and his allies manage to successfully save Lynn from the Markovians, but they learn that the war is far from over. And we also see that the Markovians are now making their move on Freeland as the Pierces and their allies attempt to assimilate them back to being home. And in the process we also learn there are a few surprising revelations along the way as we are now getting closer to wrapping up Season 3. Overall, I thought this episode was very good. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I thought this one was a lot of fun, and as I've said in previous videos, I think Season 3 has been really good and I've really enjoyed watching this a lot. So, with that all said, let's get right into it. Let's talk about Episode 14, The Book of War, Chapter 1, Homecoming. So this episode opens up with Gamby talking to Dr. Jace, telling her that he should have killed her 40 years ago. Damn! Jace tells him that they're fighting on the same side now thanks to the real threat Markovia poses, and reveals that Gravedigger is in charge as well as what he wants, the stable metas. Jefferson updates Odell while Gray is enraged about the fact that Tobias managed to get away and the Markovians now surround Freeland. Jefferson tells Odell about Gravedigger and the war is indeed coming. Jen and Anissa disagree about Khalil, with Anissa having deep concerns about his painkiller personality. Elsewhere, Devontae collects the money Lady Eve owes Lala. She convinces him to indulge in the service of one of her ladies, but she has him drugged. At Gamby's, TC checks Khalil's firewall while Gamby gives him an art set to help him with PTSD. Gamby also suggests therapy with Perina. At home, Lynn nearly collapses making dinner with Jefferson, and she tells him she's an addict and apologises for her treatment of him in the past. But in the bathroom she retrieves a pill of the glimmer. She confesses this at dinner and Jen helps her out by destroying it. The family bonds once again, having given themselves a clean slate. After drugging Devontae, Lady Eve discovers the briefcase situation and calls for a meeting with Lala. She confronts him about the briefcase and reveals that she can also control him just like Tobias did. Turns out Tobias used Lady Eve's technology and offers to free him. Meanwhile, Anissa vents to Grace about her distrust of Khalil because of the painkiller personality. Grace encourages her to chill out about it, but an urgent call comes in from the Purdy. The Markovians have found them and have them massacred. However, whoever is left is trying to get to Freeland. Black Lightning, Thunder and Grace show up to help. Black Lightning helps go to work looking for supplies for these new refugees, while Thunder and Grace go back to help those who may have been left behind. Jen takes Brandon to speak with Jace. He wants to use the crystallized ashes of his dead mother to kill Jace, and the not-so-good doctor reveals that his father may still be alive. Talking to Jen later, Brandon tries to suss out who his father is based on his powers. He talks to TC and Jen sees Khalil drawing a picture of her as lightning. They share our moments, but he zones out, glitching. His firewall breaks down, prompting Khalil to fight Painkiller inside his own mind, while in the real world, Painkiller is strangling Jen. Now, I thought this was quite a good scene, seeing Khalil and Painkiller duking it out inside his head. I thought this was a really good scene. Kind of reminded me of back in, I think, was it Season 7 of Smallville, where Clark went into Lex Luthor's head and you saw the good Lex as a child and the evil Lex as a grown-up. So I thought that was a really good scene. And this scene with Khalil and Painkiller kind of brought back little memories of that moment of Smallville. So we see Khalil manages to defeat Painkiller and comes back to being himself just in time. Khalil later comes to visit her on the roof to apologise, but she won't have it and he leaves. After cutting out the eye of one of her lackeys, Lady Eve comes to see Gamby. She has the briefcase but she can't open it and gives it to Gamby and says her quarrel with him is now officially over. TC unlocks it, much to Gamby's delight. He calls a meeting with Lynn and Jefferson and reveals that the US is responsible for the whole Markovian situation, linking it all the way back to Gravedigger, who was experimented, thus giving him metahuman powers with the military and ultimately turning him into a killer. We then see Gravedigger is Metaprime, and he was the only part of the whole program that survived, and the government has been spending decades and loads of money to replicate it. Lynn reveals that she left behind the Meta Boost serum in Markovia. Gravedigger now can have any power he wants, and he's heading to the US, and that's pretty much how episode 14 ends. Very good episode overall, does a really good job of building up to the season finale, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think probably my favourite scene of this entire episode was seeing Khalil and Painkiller going at it in his head. As I said earlier, brought back some memories of season 7 Smallville. So overall, this episode was really good and I really enjoyed this a lot. So with that all said, I'm going to wrap this up now. What did you think of episode 14? Did you enjoy it? What was your thoughts on Khalil and Painkiller going at it in his head? Did you think that was a good scene? What about Devontae and Lady Eve's situation with the briefcase? How do you think that's going to play out in the next couple of episodes? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will be back next time for another edition of the Black Lightning Season 3 review series, where I'll be talking about episode 15, which I am very much looking forward to talking about, and it should be a lot of fun. So until next time, take care everybody, and stay safe.